Yeah, I think if you search for JTT...
What's the length of that loop?
Hi guys, and welcome back to another Tech Minds video. Now, if you're interested in DATV, or if you're a long-time user of digital amateur television, then we have some exciting news. Now, Simon Brown, a UK ham radio operator with call sign G4ELI, has recently released a Windows software application that will change the way DATV is received and transmitted for everyone, or at least if you're a Windows user. Now, this application is called SDR Television. Now, Simon is the guy behind one of the most popular and free SDR applications, which is called SDR Console. Now, SDR Console is the go-to SDR application when it comes to using SDRs that can transmit, specifically from VHF and higher. Now, personally, I use it for everything, but when transmitting on QO100 narrowband with SSB, SDR Console is the application to use. But we're not here to talk about SDR Console. We're here to look at this brand new application called SDR Television. So, what can it do? Now, primarily, this first release is geared more towards QO100, which is a geostationary satellite way above Middle Earth. Now, QO100 contains a specific transponder which provides enough bandwidth for ham radio operators to send their digital TV signal to it and then to have that signal bounce back to Earth. Now, generally, we transmit on 2.4 GHz and then we receive on 10 GHz, although through the use of the LNB, the frequency output from the LNB is a more manageable frequency at around 750 MHz. Now, SDR Television is designed to be used with the Puto SDR or any of the clones like Puto Plus and Libra SDR if you're going to be transmitting as well. Now, it does support things like SDR Play and AirSpy for receive, but for transmitting, you will need a Puto or a Puto clone. Now, Puto SDR has two ports, one for receive and one for transmit. This means we can receive on one frequency and then transmit on another at the same time. Now, this is called full duplex. Now, this is my setup, which is out in the conservatory. Now, here's the Puto SDR, which is connected to my computer indoors via Ethernet. Now, the output of this goes through a little filtered driver board and then off to a rather large 2.4 GHz amplifier. Now, to receive, the LNB from the dish connects into the back here. The signal is then split between this DATV receiver, dubbed as the Winter Hill, and then it goes off to the input of the Puto SDR at the same time. Now, before SDR Television was released, I had to rely on this DAT receiver and decoder hardware to be able to receive any DATV signals from QO100. But now, with SDR Television, we can utilize the same signal that comes into the Puto SDR. Now, this is the dish that I'm using outside, pointing to QO100 with a custom dual feed antenna system on the dish arm there. Now, more information about this potty antenna can be found in other videos on my channel if you're interested. So how does this work? Well, SDR Television connects directly to the Puto, and on the left side here we have the receiver pane, and on the right side this is the transmit pane. Now, both can work independently, managing transmit and receive frequencies. Now, one thing to notice here is that if you are already using SDR Console, then you will need to remove your device definitions for your Puto and then recreate them once you've installed the new SDR radio and SDR Television kits from the SDR radio website. Now, if you're familiar with transmitting DATV and you use OBS to gather your video and audio source, then you will also need to install a specific OBS virtual camera plugin. The links for this will be posted in the SDR Television manual, but I may also list them down below. Now, this large area here in the middle top is where you will view any received DATV signals, and below this is the spectrum of what the Puto SDR is receiving. Now, if you are using this for QO100, then you will be presented with a band plan or available channels that us QO100 users stick to. Now, these are split into different symbol rate blocks, but you can normally tell which symbol rate to click on due to the width of the transmission. Now on the top left, we have the incoming audio controls, where you can adjust volume of the received station if they're transmitting audio. And then below this, we have a visual constellation, which may or may not mean anything to you. Now below this, we can fine-tune the receive and transmitted frequencies, a bit like an RIT. And below this, we can set the receive frequency and the symbol rate manually. Now when receiving and decoding properly, the bottom left of the receive window will show you the metadata for that signal, including how strong that signal is and any program information that the sender is sending. Now over on the top right, this is where you select your transmitted audio source. You can choose from either the OBS plugin or from a USB microphone or even an audio source in your camera. Below this is where you choose the video source that you'll transmit. Now recommended resolution is 1280 by 720 with a frame rate of 15 FPS. But of course you can experiment with this as you see fit. High resolution and frame rate will be relative to the symbol rate that you're actually using to transmit. Now below this is where you can see a preview of your transmitted images or video. You can also change your symbol rate here. Now most users normally stick to a symbol rate of 333K, but other popular rates are 500K and 1000K. Now the higher the symbol rate, the better quality you transmit. But remember, the higher the symbol rate, the more RF output power you'll need, and obviously more computing processing power. It also takes up more bandwidth on the satellite with those higher symbol rates. Now before transmitting on air, you can use a very clever feature of SDR TV, and that's called Loopback. Now press the close button if you're already connected to your Puto SDR, and then press the Loopback button. Now this will feed the transmitted IQ data back into the receiver, meaning you can test locally without even transmitting any RF. Press the Start Stream button and then press Send, and you should see your transmitted signal appear in the middle of the screen. Now once you're happy with how it looks and you can confirm that everything is working properly, you just then have to enable that loopback feature and then reconnect to your Puto SDR. Now on QA100, it's vital that you always check the band plan for activity. You can either do this by scanning up and down the band by clicking within the lower band plan, or you can look at the live wideband FFT scope from the DATV website. Now never transmit on a frequency that's already being used, unless of course you are in a net where someone will tell you when to transmit, i.e. hand it over to you for your turn. Now SDR Television can support terrestrials like 23 centimeters and 437 MHz, although at the moment it is more geared towards QA100 with better terrestrial support coming in a later version later in the year. So if you've got a Puto Plus or any SDR receiver that you may want to try receiving DATV on, give SDR Television a go. Now Simon, G4ELI does all this for free, giving to the ham community a great deal of time. He doesn't charge for his software, not one penny. So if you find his software useful and you want to give back, then check out his donation links on his website. I'll leave that down below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have some fun with this, and I'm excited to see all the new features appear on this software over time. Till next video, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.